Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, this is the fact, guys. The reason you suffer so much is because you care too much. Isn't it? That's true. Take a look at yourself and ask yourself, why am I suffering? And you'll figure out you care too much. Definitely, we have to take care of certain things to some certain extent, but we do more than we need to. And that's why we suffer. And this caring, this nurturing quality is coming from our conditioning, from our experience. Especially when you're caring so much, you were in that environment, someone was caring a lot as well. And you understood that caring is the way to make things better, to keep things healthier. And you have seen that first-hand experience from your own life. And your own experience also ingrains this idea that caring is the way to make your life better, make your environment better, and you keep moving with that. And when you start to see the result is better, it ingrains in you and you start to make it personal. And when you start to make things personal, you are emotionally involved in the things that you are aligned with. There could be many examples in your life that you are heavily involved in it. You care so much. When things start to get personal, and when we start to see something is true and we hold on to that idea and experience, then we forget that life is temporary, that life is transitional. It comes, it sustains, and it has to end. We forget that part when things start to get personal. Things always come and go, isn't it? There's all sort of upgrades available in the world. Just notice how much you're emotionally involved with your career and how much you care about it. Now, job is just one of the examples. Now, there are tons of other stuff that we are heavily involved emotionally, mentally. That is a sign of caring, isn't it? And again, when we care too much, we control too much. When you control too much, now we're not seeing things as they are. Definitely, you can control your side enough to make things better. But we are controlling the world. And that's where the further conflict and suffering comes in. We try to put the people we try to make people to align with our preference. And to make that preference reality, we act certain way and we make people act in certain way. Isn't that controlling? we started with a caring attitude, but it's so ingrained in us through experience, and now we become so righteous that we're controlling everything. And now the suffering is already there. And because of the suffering, we are trying to find the freedom again. And to be free, what we need to do is to let go the control part and see things as they are. Must realize that the world is learning in its own way. The world means the people. Especially when the world has a certain preference, you have a certain preference, and trying to make the world to align with your preference, to align with your action, creates a conflict. Yes, definitely you can find some people who will have a similar preference, but there are other tons of preference in the world available. So, when it's not matching, you bring the mental suffering in yourself, and also you ignite the mental suffering in someone else's life. So, good intent. We started with a good intent, but somehow the good intent loses the reason behind the action, then turns out bad. And that is the way to, invite suffering in life. And again, I'm telling you, suffering has to be there as a signpost so that we can work now in a way that to dissolve the suffering and move in a balanced approach. And it comes to oneself to make one's life better, not to make the world better. Everybody has to take their own stance to make one's life better. And to make the life better, one must see the truth in oneself, not the personal truth, not the relative truth, but the absolute truth. And that seeing the absolute truth makes us understand the ego design, the world, the people. And after that, life will get better. There won't be unnecessary struggle post-enlightenment. There's no control is needed. You do your part, but you don't have to control the world. And that is easy living. So, thing is that you're not there yet. The easy life is not there yet. The only struggle is there. Definitely, you have fun in your life. And also a lot of struggle. And everything you're doing right now is to maintain the fun. And all effort is make you suffer too. Now, how do we get there not to suffer? Or how do we care in a way that we don't have to suffer? Because I started the video like the reason you're suffering right now is because you care too much. So how do we care in a way that I don't have to suffer? You reflect, how do I make myself not suffer even being part of the world? And this is where you have to step back and you have to take care of yourself first. Now, you have to take care of yourself first means you have to dissolve the false in you. You have to dissolve the ego in you. And that's the true caring. And this is where you need to turn the awareness back to yourself and you need to dissolve the mind. Why dissolving the mind? Because mind is the past. And if you keep listening to the mind, then we are living with the past. We're not open to the moment, and we're not, trusting the moment and the learning in the moment. We miss the opportunity of learning, seeing things. We miss out when we are always listening to the mind and moving from the mind, which is moving from the past. So whole journey, the enlightenment journey, or the freedom from the mind, is about investigating on the mind in a way that we are backtracking the mind to figure out the truth. So basically, the mind is the false. False because it's the past. Plus, the mind is coming from the outside, from the experience. And truth is already inside. So what we need to do to figure out the inner truth, the unchanging truth, is by dissolving the changing mind. The mind is changing, the emotion is changing in us, isn't it? Even this body is changing. But within this changing, there is something in us that is unchanging. And to figure out that unchanging, the absolute, is by dissolving the changing. And what we can do is working on understanding the nature of the mind by deconstructing the mind. Just the mind we need to work. When you work on the mind, we can also understand the emotion. Emotion is the extension of the mind. So, work on dissolving the mind. Be part of self-inquiry. Self-inquiry is about dissolving the mind. Now, we started the video about caring a lot. And because of the caring, we are suffering. Right? So we can use that in our inquiry today. You can ask yourself, why do I care? Why am I caring so much? Again, definitely caring, loving, those quality is good. Those quality is the byproduct of the truth, but not the truth itself. We should be caring. We should maintain that nurturing quality in us for ourselves, for the world. But to find the truth, we gotta utilize the layer that we're holding as true. So you care so much, you're suffering so much because of your caring. Asking yourself, why do I care so much? Why? And figure out the reason for your caring. Because something will come in your head. Now, once you see that, ask yourself, why is that important? Then that will help you to track back further to see another layer of your mind. And whatever answer comes in, keep going back in the same way, asking why. And this way is the way to figure out the root cause of your caring. The root itself is an ingrained belief, okay? Ingrained preference in you. And you attach to that. Your life is happening from that mental construction. You got to dismantle that as well. If you have a hard time of letting go of your attachment, that means the fear is there. Fear of what? If you don't care, there is the idea of fear in you. Now, why do I have the fear? Backtrack. Same way. Why? The why will give you the answer. Whatever answer come in, you utilize that to deepen your backward inquiry. You're figuring out the answers, all the answer for your surface movement of caring. Okay, and keep going back until you hit the point of no mind, no more answer. And that's where the awareness is pulsating as you. But you don't see that yet. And this is where you have to ask yourself, who am I? To create a real breakthrough of dissolving the mind. When you see the truth through who am I, the plain sight truth, everything drops. You see things as it is, and you move from that realization. And post-enlightenment, you still care, but you're not making it personal anymore. You're not making that mental construct, emotional construct. You're not involving in drama. You're just there. You're able to care. You care, but you don't have to suffer from your action. And that's the difference post-enlightenment. But right now, you're not there yet. And when the truth is missing, you're suffering tremendously from your own action. There's no balanced approach. You just keep, you keep putting the effort and you keep struggling. So if you want to, not to suffer from your caring attitude, then you need to figure out the root cause of your caring, and you have to dismantle the root as well. That's the way to, able to see who you are. And when you see who you are, everything is clear for you. And the mental suffering and a lot of physical suffering will dissolve in your life. And that is easy living. Okay? I hope this video makes sense to you to some extent. Thanks for watching. And subscribe if it's helping. Take it for now. See you in the next video. Bye.